All right, everybody, welcome back to TCG Cast, episode 103. We are here, and we are ready for some Star Wars Unlimited talk. This game is really, really hot. We're going to see this in the hands of players in less than 2 months. At the time of this recording, we're looking at about maybe a month out before pre-release, and then a couple weeks after that, it's going to be in everybody's hands. Some of our staff, our team, our crew have already gone to demo days, so people are getting really excited. But we're going to have two special guests from Unplayable. We have got Mike the Rebel Spy and Dhaus. How are y'all doing tonight?
So good, man. Excited to be here talking Star Wars.
Yep, doing amazing. Always down to talk Star Wars.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And then our other co-pilot is going to be the bearded wonder, the man with a fist underneath his chin, the Skeff man, who's probably packing comic books as we speak. How are you doing, man?
I am packing comic books as we speak. And I am doing phenomenal. Welcome
Shocking.
to the guests, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. And joining all of the chaos that shall be this 45-minute episode. Hopefully we'll cross our fingers and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see if we can keep it to 45. But the idea behind this show is we're going to do a tier list of the aspects within Star Wars Unlimited. So there are 4 colors. There's a technical name, but we're just going to make it easy for listeners. So we've got blue, green, yellow, and red. And then there is the villain aspect and the hero aspect. So when we're kind of building this tier list, we're going to take into account that there is a villainy blue, a hero blue, a villain green, a hero green, yada yada. And then at the end, we're going to argue about just villain, just hero to see which ones we think are going to be better than the other. But before we do that, you guys from the Unplayable team, why don't you tell our listeners who you are, where you're from, and how they can listen to your really fun Star Wars content, along with all the other stuff that you guys are doing?
Mike, you go for it.
Me? Man,
Always.
I'm bad at the plug. Well, we have a YouTube channel called Unplayable, and we cover all of our favorite games. Lately, that has been Star Wars Unlimited, but we've done content for Lorcana as well as some other games, and yeah, we just have all done content together in the past previously, and decided that it was time to sort of start a channel and a brand and a thing that encompasses all of the awesome games that we love. So that's where you can find us.
Now, let's also talk a little bit about your pedigree in the Star Wars gaming universe, because before this game, Fantasy Flight had a little trading card and dice game called Star Wars Destiny, and that's where all of us actually met. So we've been around the block for quite a while talking about Star Wars games. So why don't you let everybody know some of your experience and knowledge with both, FFG and Star Wars card games, so we can all let people know, like, we know what we're talking about here.
Well, Sugi, I'm so glad you asked, and specifically that you asked about our knowledge, because only through knowledge and meditation can we know the true way of the cards.
Oh,
That
yes.
pregnant pause.
Man.
Boo.
The plug for Jedi Trials.
That's right. Jedi Trials, the OG. Mike and I met playing Star Wars Destiny. So I met all of you guys, but Mike and I were playing Destiny. He was running another site. I was co-hosting the Jedi Trials. Eventually, my co-host had to exit for life reasons. Mike graciously hopped on, and we ran the Jedi Trials and played a lot of Destiny, rolled a lot of dice. And even when Destiny died, we never really stopped talking. We just kept talking about games and just sort of, I don't know. I just felt like we had we developed a good friendship. And then when all these games started coming back up that we loved, it was really easy to pick back up and start doing some Star Wars stuff. So
Yeah, ever since the end of Star Wars Destiny, we had this group chat between David, Jay, and myself, and eventually Jim joined in, and we'd just been basically texting each other in this group chat about games for the past 5-6 years, and eventually just decided, hey, it's time to turn that into content in some way or another and sort of have fun being creative.
yeah.
Very fun. Very fun. All right. So that's where we've been. And we're going to now talk about where we think some of these colors lie. So first off, we're going to kick off the blue or vigilance aspect. And I want to hear what y'all think. Is it good? Is it bad? We'll use the American grading standard. So you've got, A, B, C, D, E, F. And then if it's really insanely unfairly broken, we'll, use S tier, God tier, tier 0, whatever term you want to use. Jar Jar tier. It's so good.
I
it just
prefer
makes you,
Jar Jar tier. Yeah.
Yeah. It just makes you talk goofy. You're like, wow. So let's start off with the one that a lot of people are talking about, both on the internet, Reddit, Discord, wherever you read your news, and that's Blue Villain. This is a aspect that's got a lot of really cool tools. So we're not going to go in like too deep into the cards because it's going to take way too long. But some of the highlights, in my opinion, are going to be like Count Dooku, Power of the Dark Side, just really great removal, good offense, good defense. If you can get to the late game, I think Avenger is kind of nutty. Just being able to force an opponent to choose a non-leader they control and defeat it. Plus, then you deal 8 damage to something like. So yeah, what do you guys think about?
And then it just gets waylaid back to your hand.
Well, then
you stop that. You stop that over there. You're not a very nice person, Mr. Krabs. But yeah, let's chat. Where do we feel that Blue Villain stands on the tier list?
I love Blue Villain. I love it. So many control things, right? You've got stuff like Dooku that could just melt units. You mentioned Power of the Dark Side. Actually, my favorite leader in the game currently is Director Krennic, and he is a blue villain. I love him. Mike hates him, which leads to great content.
Why do you love him?
Mike is correct,
I ask him that all the time.
No, he is
Mike
not.
is correct. Mike is correct. Yes, Mike is correct. I apologize.
No. I'm here with D-House. I got him. I'm Blue Villain's fun. It's a lot of colors.
I will see you on TTS, my friends.
I can't wait.
I just went anime. I love Krennic. He comes down at 5. Yeah, he only attacks for 2, but he's got 7 health, and really it's a 4 damage swing because you're also restoring 2. So a lot of people ignore Krennic and focus on your other units, and so that restore 2 really adds up. Him dropping so soon. A lot of times he's a distraction because you're able to get to like the next things, whether that's at 6, you got the Academy Defense Walker, which also rewards your damaged units, which Krennic is buffing. So you just have a lot of these kind of sneaky buffs that you're adding to your list. So he just has lots of, I love passive abilities too. I don't like having to depend on paying for abilities or triggering abilities. It's just a passive ability that oftentimes opponents can forget and misplay. So Krennic just sings for me, man.
How do you feel about Iden?
I don't like Iden.
Okay, better question. Guy. Do you like the fact that Iden exists since she's not technically like movie canon? She's video game canon.
What's a video game?
Oh, well, that was a great episode, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're just going to get on out of here before we get shot in the back. Man, what's a video game?
If anybody has watched Unplayable recently, they know that David does not believe in video games.
Wait, he doesn't know or doesn't believe?
Exist. It's like Santa Claus to him.
Gosh.
Except Santa Claus is real.
He's never played Pokemon?
I love
whoa.
Pikachu.
I've got deep Pokemon roots in middle school, but
wait a minute. Yeah. But you know that Pokemon exists, but that comes from a video game. Wait, I'm confused.
Okay, but here's the thing. Pokemon the video game introduced me to Pokemon the card game, and once I started playing Pokemon the card game, I was a card gamer for life, and I'd stopped playing video games. Truly, that was like the end of it for me.
Ouch.
That's pretty wild, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never played Smash Brothers?
You know, of course I did. I mean, I'm still a human.
He's not Amish.
I still normal.
Wait, what is that to do with anything?
I'm still a millennial. I mean, I'm not.
What does that have to do with anything?
You know, it's
phenomenal.
But Nintendo 64 was when video games peaked, and then it's been all downhill since then. So,
all right. So, did you play the pod racing game on N64?
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the blue villain characters.
No. I gotta know. I gotta know. I wants to know the question. Okay,
I've never played that. No.
Oh man, so much fun.
Yeah, that's a miss. That game is great.
Anyway, that's a classic. Yeah. All right, Star Wars fans unite. But let's rate it. Let's give it a number before we move to Blue Hero. I feel like Blue Villain's probably worst, a B. It's probably an A for me. There's just so much flexibility here.
I think I agree with you. I feel like it's an A. It's like probably the most controlling color that you can be in, right?
Oh yeah.
No, yellow. Yellow's most controlling.
You think so?
Yellow's
I think yellow's a little bit more.
Thrawn looks at your plans and laughs.
So, well, okay, I guess we should probably clarify this for the listeners. We're counting for neutral cards. So if you look at a card like Takedown, it costs 4, it's blue, and it can go into hero or villain. We're accounting for villainy with the neutral cards, and we're accounting for hero with the neutral cards as well. So villainy has takedown removal, vanquish removal, defeat a non-leader unit, defeat a unit with 5 or less HP. Then they've got power of the dark side. Opponent chooses a unit they control, defeat that unit. So villain blue just has so much good control and removal between neutral cards and just villain specific cards. Also, like, again, Count Dooku, when you plop him down the field, he gets a shield and he pops a unit with 4 or less remaining HP. Like, there's a lot of ways to get things down, and it's as a unit, not a non-leader unit. So you can pop a leader if they've got 4 or less HP.
So,
I'm giving an A+ here.
Yeah, very, very, very flexible.
I'm on the A train here.
I'll give it a C+.
Oh, Skeff.
Oh, this is the man who's going to ruin the curve.
I am. Gonna
All of the smart kids in the room are like squirming, like,
you're
Skeff!
you're the original Dooku player from Destiny. I feel
I
like
know, right?
this is your
And
vibe.
I was very underwhelmed when he got released.
No,
You monster!
I felt he was underwhelming for
Oh.
how much power he had for a 7-cost card.
Seriously?
Sure, it's a defeatability. Yeah, I did. I felt it was underwhelming for 7 cost for how much power he had.
Okay. All right.
I wish now here's the thing. There is yet to be a Dooku leader, so do not say, there's a Dooku leader.
The Jabba Dooku, it's coming on
so
strong.
you tell me I can have like a Dooku? There's no Jabba leader yet, right? So until there's a
Thank
Jabba
goodness.
or a Dooku leader, then you are safe from my shenanigans for now.
Can I get an Unkar Plot
now.
leader?
No.
That
Hopefully
was
never.
my jam. I love
Not even
that
a unit. Get him out of here.
Ouch. The scars run deep. Okay, so we're feeling an A+, and then Skeff threw out the curve with a C out of hatred. So we'll ignore that.
It's okay. It's just underwhelming.
I learned a lot about Skeff in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, right? You're going to learn so much more over the next 20.
Oh boy. All right, so let's pivot to Blue Hero. So there's a lot of fun stuff, but who wants to talk about what makes this color combination just so good?
Shields.
All right, let's give it a rating.
I think that's like 10% of it.
That's blue here.
I love Blue Hero. 80% of that is Luke Skywalker, the unit. The leader's great too, but I love the Luke Skywalker unit.
That's
you also
so
got Kanan, you got Yoda, you've got Jedi lightsaber.
Yeah,
you've got
Luke's lightsaber. It's awesome.
Luke's lightsaber, exactly amazing. You got Obi-Wan, great mid-game card.
I hate him.
I'm a huge fan.
So annoying.
Blue Hero.
Oh, great.
Mike, you're not going to talk about Chirrut? I mean, come on, man.
Wait.
Chirrut,
is
I do
Chewbacca
not
Blue Hero?
get. I don't get Chirrut. I think Chewbacca's cool, but I don't get Chirrut. I'm sure he's good. I'm sure somebody will find a way to like break him.
Yeah, there'll be a combo where you retap him by destroying something and then retap him again by destroying something and then retap him again.
He doesn't speak to me,
Fair enough.
I'm more of a Luke guy.
I feel like if you play Chirrut with untap in red, he can do some really stupid things.
Oh, that's interesting. With what's that card called?
But that's only a power 3 or less.
Yeah, well, he has 3 or less.
Yes,
power.
I know.
Yeah, but I want a Voltron Chirrut to like.
Well, you want to
throw
Voltron
hands.
every leader that exists in this game.
That's the goal, right? A team of form Voltron.
This is Star Wars Voltron, right? The game.
Oh Lord,
Yes,
Voltron.
Keep fighting is what you're talking about.
We
Yes,
form
keep fighting.
Captain Voltron.
Yes.
I need a Chirrut with 8,000 attack. What?
Can I get Chirrut with 80 health? Is that possible? Can we do this?
Please no.
We can make it happen.
No. Yeah, I do agree. Chewbacca, the leader, is really obnoxious. All that Sentinel is just frustrating.
Yeah, I was super hype on Chewbacca. I've cooled a little bit, but
That's a good call on cooling down on that Chewbacca. Good call there. That's a good call. Well played.
Skeff is on the color commentary tonight.
I am. I'm doing it, baby.
That's right, John. He's terrible. Get him out of here.
yeah.
What do you guys think about the double vigilance or double blue cards? So you got Protector. So for 1 resource, if you have 2 blue symbols, you give an attached unit Sentinel +1/+1, And then Vigilance, the legendary rare. So you could choose 2 in any order. Of course, as a mill player, discard 6 cards from an opponent's deck. Woo! Or you can heal 5 damage from a base, which is good. Defeat a unit with 3 or less remaining HP, which is also good. Give a shield token to a unit, which is also good. Like, I feel like Vigilance, the card, is probably the best in all of the options.
It's actually the worst.
No, that's wrong.
It is the worst of all the options.
It's not the worst. No, aggression is the worst.
Cunning,
Just mill.
command,
I
aggression,
actually-
and then vigilance.
No, it
I
is
would-
not.
no,
It goes
I-
cunning,
I agree,
vigilance,
aggression's
command,
the
aggression.
worst. Yeah. I agree with David here.
No,
Actually.
it just says discard
Yeah.
6 cards. That makes it the best in all of them.
No, stop it. Get out of here
Okay,
with your
that-
middle.
This is true. That is a terrible thing. It's a useless
Vigilance
mechanic
only
right now.
has
Yeah.
3 modes
It's a useless
because the
mechanic.
first one is basically blank.
Yeah,
But
it has
Ouch.
no use right now.
Oh.
Exactly.
defeating
yes.
a unit
Yes.
is great. If
And
you
it's
can
the worst one.
If
I'm
you
getting
line it up,
beat up
defeating
on.
a unit is great, and giving a shield token to a unit is okay. You're really only getting like 1 resource of value from that, though, which kind of feels bad.
It's not great. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think if you're playing a super control-y late game deck that may come together at some point, healing 5 is pretty big. So healing 5
Yeah.
and killing something on turn 3 could potentially stabilize you right there. But
Yeah, here's the deal, Sugi. If cunning is like the NBA,
Uh-oh.
vigilance
I like this.
is like high school
No.
JV.
Oh,
I thought you were going to say something different that was going to get canceled. I thought you were going to
I
say
was like,
something
wait,
that was going to get us canceled. And I
No,
approved
no,
what
no.
you said instead of what I thought you were going to say.
Like for you to rate this above cunning is straight nonsense.
You
It's
know
like-
I'm joking, right?
Yeah,
I took it pretty seriously, though.
that's what I was hoping, but
I'm
it's
waiting for
good.
more mill cards, please. Please
Yeah,
FFG.
yeah. But I like Protector too. I'm real high on.
see, I don't
Protector.
like Protector at all.
I like Protector. Make sure to
I think
Protector.
it's a waste.
That's
of
because
one
you
resource.
don't understand Chirrut.
That is 100% accurate.
Yeah,
And one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
that's
Yeah,
right.
give Chirrut Protector. He'll never die.
That's right.
Everyone has to attack
until
him
the end of
because
the
he
round,
doesn't
and then
die.
he dies.
Well, still he's a literal wall.
What
That's
happened
good.
at the end of Rogue One, Mike?
Uh-oh.
He died.
Everybody died.
Yeah, but the
died.
heroes
Everybody
won.
died.
But the heroes won.
But at
Did
what
they,
cost?
though?
Many
Did
Bothans
they?
were lost. Many Bothans died for this information.
Also, they didn't mention anyone from Rogue One that died either. Like, what? Come on now. They literally just gave everything. I didn't see a single Bothan.
I need an alternate
even know
art
what a
of
Bothan
Chirrut
looks
with
like.
the bag over his head and
Like
the
a
flavor text
marsupial-looking
is, "Are you
thing.
kidding? I'm blind."
That's a good one.
That was a great kick. Okay, so back to Hero Blue. I think it's good. Is it?
I'm
an
going
A
A.
rank.
Again.
Okay.
I think
it's
a B.
better than what? No, you're out of your mind.
No, it's a B. It's a B. It just is.
I will give it a B.
There's no
I will
way.
give it a solid B.
You guys are crazy. The Luke Skywalker unit leader and
Yeah,
Jedi
but we're talking
lightsaber,
blue. We're not talking
and
Luke
Yoda
Skywalker
and-
leader. Yeah.
like Obi-Wan. These cards are not A tier cards to you guys. You guys are
So-
crazy.
so
But
here's the
as
question.
a whole, consular
whole.
security force.
that's like 90% of the cards.
Nani? So like,
if we're
what do you
comparing
when you,
it to
when
the
you
blue
say
villain, blue villain's got some bad cards too.
everybody's got bad cards, but like
Exactly.
Mike, what are you thinking when you're building that deck to make it an A rank? I want to hear like your thought process.
I mean, you put good cards in your deck, and Blue Hero has a lot of good cards. that's
Okay,
that's almost
He
it.
plays all
Like,
of
that's
his
fair.
unique characters, and they just work.
So like, are
They
you
do
building
work.
a shield deck or like a restore deck? Because there's a lot of different paths Blue Hero can take, and they're both very interesting.
I think you can just build a very, very efficient and solid mid-range deck, and it
Okay.
has probably the best or some of the best mid-range units in the entire game.
What are you using at mid range? So obviously you've got Luke, you probably got Obi-Wan, but like, what's your like 4 or 5 drops for that mid range?
So I don't think Vigilant Honor Guards is too bad. It's a 5-cost 4/6, which
Okay.
has Sentinel as long as it doesn't have any damage on it. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. But I think like Kanan is also a pretty good 4-cost card. There actually aren't a lot of good 4-cost units in the game at all, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And Kanan is pretty solid. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's just good. There are some bad cards, right? But again, every color has some bad cards.
I mean, every game is bad cards. If all cards were good, it wouldn't be fun.
Exactly.
All right,
But I
Mike.
think,
I'll
like,
give it a
if-
B plus.
If we're
Wow.
looking at red, if we're looking at Blue Villain versus Blue Hero, I don't think Blue Villain is like head and shoulders above the average value of a blue hero card.
I think it's slightly better.
Like compare Luke to Dooku. Luke is just better than Dooku in 90% of games.
Oh, I'd rather take Dooku, actually.
I don't know.
You're making a good point. You're making a good case, Mike. You got me at least thinking.
So I rated blue villain C, and then blue hero gets B plus B. Yeah, so that's yeah.
All right. Well, you're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, see, the pattern to this.
I think blue hero is also an A as well. There's a lot of really cool tricks, especially with the next color we're about to talk about that I think can make blue hero really gnarly. But okay, so what's our final ranking? So Mike and I are an A.
I'm a B plus.
B plus.
I'm a
okay.
B.
Okay.
B.
So we're looking at like an A minus on average. B plus, A minus, somewhere in the
I'll take
89, 90. Okay. All right, moving along. Let's look at Hero Green.
Hero green or villain green? Which one are we looking at?
We can do Villain Green. Villain Green's fine. We'll start with Villain Green so we can talk about DJ Super Laser.
S tier. Villain green. S tier.
Yeah,
Villain
Green's
green
S tier.
is S tier.
I
Villain
agree.
green.
Just right out the bat. That's where
Yeah,
we're going.
it's
It
undisputed.
has. Yep, it's that darn good.
It
can
is
do everything.
insane.
It can do
Explain.
everything. The best card in the game is Overwhelming Barrage, where it's like, I'm just going to board
it
wipe
is.
you.
Yeah.
It's going to just end the game by wiping out 4 of your characters. Have a great game.
Yep.
You can play that on turn 4 if you get enough cards properly in that order. It's the only board wipe card that exists right now.
Yep, I agree. Every one of these cards, like Grand Moff Tarkin at 4, is like
So good. So good.
well,
Yeah.
actually,
He's my favorite leader.
So, but here's the thing. So, no, not leader. I'm talking about the unit. The unit card.
Unit's great too. Yeah, Unit's
So
great.
Unit's
For
he's
sure.
he's good, but honestly,
Unit's
he gets
okay.
cut. He gets cut, even though he's a good card. In another color, he might make the cut. But in this, there's so many good cards in
Veers.
Green
Veers
Villain.
is awesome.
Well, Veers is a neutral villain.
Oh.
He's not Green Villain.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
talk about him.
But like
There's-
the new Vader. Like,
He's awesome.
are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
there's
Yeah.
three
New
cards.
Vader
Yeah, the
that's
is
Vader's
insane.
a lot of fun.
Green
I played
S
the
tier.
Vader.
Yeah,
And
Green
it's-
Vader. Woo.
And then you can
it's
play
Vader,
lasers to get
Overwhelming
the
Barrage, and
Vader.
laser attack.
And then you could search for it. Yes, it's really good. Yeah, I think Green Villain is probably one of my favorite things.
Yeah, so it should just say search the top 20% of your deck for any number of whatever. Just win.
It's very good.
I also love like Admiral Piet just opens up some fun combo lanes that I like.
Just shenanigans, right? Shenanigans
Yeah.
that your opponent has to prepare for. Like your
Yep.
opponent sees your card, and you're like,
Yep.
"Oh, this is gonna suck."
Yep. Yep.
Great card.
Shota!
And even Season Short Trooper as a 2-drop, like
Oh,
make
so
the
good.
That
game
is
is a
my
4/3.
favorite
Like the
2-drop
value is
in the game.
insane. Yeah.
Seasoned Stormtrooper, if you don't deal with them immediately, good luck after turn 5.
Yep.
Yeah, 4-3 for 2 is kind of stupid.
And then, like I said, once again, Overwhelming Barrage.
I love
So
it.
good.
And
Yeah.
then we haven't even talked about
It's
the
all
leader
gas.
units, but
I like
Tarkin.
Relentless. Oh,
Tarkin's
yeah.
my favorite.
It's
Tar-
just
Tarkin's my
Tarkin,
favorite.
huh?
Yeah.
Tarkin's my favorite.
Yeah.
And
Tarkin
Tarkin
is
and the
amazing.
mystery final leader that we haven't seen.
I'm trying
Yes.
to figure out how to build Hera. She seems fun.
But
The mystery
we're
final
villain.
leader is going to be Palpatine. Yeah, but he'll be the mystery final. The last villain leader we're getting is Palpatine, because there's going to be a showcase Palpatine of him in his chair with a big window behind him. I'm calling it now.
All right, well, there
Let's
you
do
go. Yeah, Tarkin experience tokens are kind of stupid.
It's my favorite deck.
Tarkin's very
It's
fun.
my mono green Tarkin deck is Mike has seen it many
You play
times on the
mono.
TTS table.
You don't play with red?
I
Troopers?
I do play it mono. I
you get the stormtroopers
actually
in the deck.
enjoy command in that deck because there's just lots of ways to ramp in that deck
I guess
specifically.
that's true. Yeah, with the resupply and lasers.
And
everything. I play
attack
it hard.
pattern delta at double green sometimes can lead to some nutty finishes.
That's true. I have to share my Tarkin list with you because you play it differently than I do. Cool.
S tier.
Yeah.
All right, so
it's
yeah,
S
let's
tier.
cast a vote. S tier. I agree. I think it's the best color in this game right now. There's just so many good cards.
It's so good.
So do we all agree on this one? Are there any?
No.
Yes, because-
Skeff hasn't said it yet.
I said S tier.
No, he
Oh,
said-
okay.
he said
immediately.
it.
My
Okay,
first
okay.
thing was S tier.
No, I was
You
like,
guys
all
are
right,
all
drum
correct
roll
on
for
this one.
Skeff. He's
guys
going to
are
be
all
like
right
that
on this
Russian
one.
judge where everyone's like 10, 10, 10. It's like 6.5. Like, oh! Like from remember Cool Runnings where you got like all of the high votes and then like there's like that one judge at the very end is like
Feel the rhythm,
4.3.
feel the rhyme.
Man,
Yeah.
it's a great movie.
So let's scoot down to Hero Green. Is it S tier? Dun dun dun.
No.
No, not even
Oh,
close.
ouch.
No.
What's the opposite of S tier?
No.
C minus? I'll give it a C minus.
It's not F.
Oh,
It's not
stop,
that
David.
low.
It's
Skeff.
not that bad.
Okay. Let me be real about this. Let me
Get
look
this man a coffee.
Look at the. I mean, you got Battlefield Marine, Echo Base Defender, Bright Hope, like Home
There
One.
are
You've
some
got
good
Leia
cards.
Leader.
There are some good cards for sure, but I don't think they're the most powerful units in the game. It's units that are generally maybe above the curve a little bit when you look at Battlefield Marine or Echo Based Defender. Bright Hope is nice as a sort of support card, but I don't think Green Hero is like main color. It feels like a side color in your deck, aside from home one, which is very powerful.
Yeah. I think Leia as a leader right now is like in the conversation with Sabine as the best aggro option to start set one with the cards we have revealed right now. So that's why I think Green Hero
she is good. I do really, really enjoy playing Leia.
But it's like, is it because of Green Hero or because of Rebel synergy? It's more Rebel synergy.
Well, synergy, yes.
I would agree.
Like you're paying it, you're playing it, but like it just I have to play Green. All right, I guess I have to play Green. Like you're just you're taking Leia, but like should be Green. Okay.
But like Battlefield Marine is the best 2-drop in the game. It just
definitely
is.
One of I don't know. Like Sabine is pretty good too. They're each good in different situations, and same with A-Wing, right? Like there are a handful of 2-cost cards that are like at the top, and it depends on sort of what situation you're in, which one is better.
This is true. He's correct.
that was a mighty. I heard that from across the country.
I appreciate that. I take that as a sign of admiration.
A W.
I mean, what about compared to the Crafty Smuggler, who's a 2/2 with a shield? Is it 3/3 without a shield or 2/2 with a shield?
That's why Sabine is good, right? Because Sabine just pops a shield and then kills it.
Yep.
Okay.
Whereas,
so are we going to
Marine
rank Green Hero in terms of what it is by itself or its capacity with an additional color? Because I feel like if you did,
I think we
if you did
take
Leia
both into account.
with red, you could have a really disgusting aggro deck. But then if you added another color, I don't know if it'd be even close to nearly as powerful. Like there's a clear-cut pathway for green aggro, but outside of that, so if you were to say, like, for example, hey, green is an A, but it's only an A because you have to build an aggro deck with red, does that really make Green Hero an A, or is it just that specific value, like that specific color combination?
I think it's a solid B-.
I'd agree with B.
That's fair. That's where I was going to put it, as B.
I had B+.
Okay. So we're sitting on Hero Green and B, but I do agree, like some of these cards are just way above the curve, like way above the curve, and then the rest are kind of they're okay. Yeah. All right, let's move into another color that's going to be super fun to argue about, because I know Skeff is going to go nuts, and that is Red Villain. Dun dun dun. With some of the best and worst artwork in the game, I feel.
Oh, hot take.
I feel it has to be an A. I feel Red Villain has to be an A.
You think an A?
Really?
Yeah, I think just because of all the direct damage. The Vader leader. The story, like I mean, it has the best
there
one
is a
drop
lot
in the
of
game.
good cards. You got the
it's a 3/1 for 1. Like, how do you say no to that?
You got Imperial Interceptor.
It's like a ball lightning
Force
from
Choke,
Magic.
You got
There's just so much damage.
Sister. There's a lot of good stuff. Fifth Brother.
Imperial Interceptor gets slept on a lot. That card is nuts.
That's a great card. Yeah,
it is. Yeah. Great card. I feel it has to be. I feel like just because of when I did a learn to play the other day, and teaching new people, all the new people felt most comfortable with Vader, the Red Villain, just because like it is so straightforward. It's such a mechanic that's just like in tune. Deal damage. Deal damage.
Yes, but Vader, I feel like there's no Vader deck without Green Villain.
I run blue. I run blue green.
I can play,
and there sure as heck ain't no IG-88 decks. So
wow, that's true.
Ouch.
That's true. There's also Grand Inquisitor. Don't forget.
Yeah. Which his stocks are rising. He's got some more help.
As more cards are coming out, the Inquisitor is getting better because we're seeing more card pool. Like otherwise, you're like, what? I'm gonna do damage to kill my thing? No, thank you. Everything.
But
else.
I like AG-88. He's fun.
No, he's bad.
He's your friend.
He's awful.
He's not. He's no one's friend. Actually, he's self-destruct.
Wow,
he's the worst.
Technically, that's IG-11.
Bummer.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, that is good.
Nerd check.
IT.
Well, they wouldn't know. It's from a video game.
I hate myself now.
You should.
Well, actually,
I respect
according
your knowledge,
to the encyclopedia of Star Wars. This character has not been canon.
Brutal. Okay.
But no,
It's from
villain
page
red.
432 of the novel that came out in 1986.
Wow.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, like, just the red villain with the Vader saber. The fourth choke's phenomenal.
All right. I'm on board.
Like the
You
Death
convinced me.
Stormtrooper one drop. What else is it?
Force choke
Also-
alone is.
Palpatine's
Force
really
choke,
good.
Fallen
As we-
lightsaber.
I've had Fallen Lightsaber. I feel is a card that hasn't seen enough play because there hasn't been enough. But Fallen Lightsaber,
So good. So good.
The spread damage. It just says, "Oh, look at all your shields. Oh, they're all gone.
They're gone.
I mean, you get
Aw.
+3/+3 for 3. Just that is
plus
good.
spread damage.
Yeah, plus
I
spread.
feel as we get more and more, you know what I mean, and then
Well, it's also anti-shield because you can
Yes.
swing, pops all the shields, and now your opponent's vulnerable. Now it's very, very, very good.
also I like Palpatine. I feel like he's just a one. Sometimes I play Palpatine in my deck, just a one of. Because
Mhm.
late game, if you hit him, it's a pretty crazy swing if you play him on like turn 9 or 10.
Mhm.
Yeah, dealing 6 damage divided as you choose among enemy units. That's
Very
at
powerful.
the worst. It's 2 bodies gone. Usually, you can get 3, sometimes 4.
Yep. Plus he's
Especially if
overwhelmed.
you
6/6.
well, if you set up the plink damage from Vader correctly, you can do some gnarly just pops with Palpatine, and that's just on play. It's not even attacking.
I feel A tier is just
I'm on board with A.
Yeah, I think it's A tier.
It's real good.
Man, you guys are a tough bargain.
All of
I
these
don't know.
are A's and B's.
I-
This is
I-
one of the
I'm
worst
like-
Hold
ones
your,
of
hold your
all.
ground, D House. Say C. Be a Skeff.
No, I wasn't a C. I'm between a B plus and an A minus. I think just because.
Wait,
just give it the A
what
minus.
are these
Just
pluses
give it
and
the A
minuses?
minus. It's definitely
I'm gonna give it exactly a 90%.
that's an A. We got an A. Public school A. Take that public school A.
Wait,
all day.
is there a difference between public and private 90%?
Yes. Wow.
Is
yes,
it
there
really?
So 93% for private school is an A. Public school 90% is an
This
A. How do you
I
not
did
know
not
this?
know this.
You do not know that? Yeah,
I
I
clearly went to
graduated
public
college
school.
in 2008. It's been a long time.
I guess that's true. Wow, good lord.
Yeah, I'm old.
Mm.
I don't remember.
Put
what-
away that abacus, Sugi. We don't need that out here now.
Hey man, just because I know how to use one, don't mock me. When they use the EMP grenade to blow up all the star systems, you'll need the abacus. All right, so let's talk about Hero Red. What do we think? I
S
love
tier.
Black One.
That's
S tier. We
love
agree.
that.
S
Oh my
tier.
gosh!
It is that good.
But why?
It
Why
is.
do you think
Sabine
it's
It
says
is.
you just lose by turn 5.
ouch?
Okay. You
That's what
got
happens.
Sabine,
Bro, every
the
card.
leader.
Every card.
You got Sabine, the unit. You got Mace Windu, the unit. You've got A-Wing, the unit. You've got K2. You got Red 3. You got Spectre Soldier for a cause. There's so much good
for
stuff.
a
in
cause.
Red
Rogue
Hero.
sacrificed even. I mean,
Yeah.
like the worst
Just
card in
banger
Red
after
Hero
banger.
is probably Black One, but even Black One has its uses.
Yeah.
It could be a good a play one of in the deck, and if you play one, it's a good play. You know what I mean?
Being able to cycle 3
Mhm.
cards is pretty nice.
It can be good in certain decks for sure.
Yeah. The only thing we can probably agree on is that Cassian's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm not a
agree.
huge Cassian fan.
Oh, you mean it's artwork, right?
No, just the card.
No, the ability.
card.
just
card.
the card.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I do, but one, I don't know if you mentioned it, but the For a Cause I Believe in, very good card.
Dude.
Insane.
That card's on a
Very
list
good
in my
card.
head of like, all right, if this gets out of hand in competitive play, what's getting restricted or banned first?
For cause.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's just so
I don't
So-
know.
so
it's
explain-
on my
explain.
watch list.
Explain to the
That's really
listeners
good.
why you feel like such a card. Because don't forget, we've
All
been
right.
playing a lot, but
So
some people
For
have
a
just started hearing about
Cause
Yeah,
this.
we gotta
I
read
believe
this.
in is reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. For each hero card revealed this way, which if you're playing this deck, probably all of them, deal 1 damage to an enemy base. You may discard any of the reveal cards and put the rest back on top of your deck in any order. So it's direct damage and scry, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
Filtering.
the same time.
Yeah.
for the cost of 3.
Yep.
So if you build your deck correctly, it's basically an automatic 4 damage for 3 to a base that you could play 3 of in a deck. So therefore, you just seems good.
Yeah, I feel like it should have said like at least for each red hero card, not just hero in general.
Okay.
Hero
That would
is
be
so
bad.
generic at this point.
I agree. Also, I feel like here's something too. Like instead of 4 cards, I feel 3 cards would not be as crazy.
It would not be as crazy.
I don't
I
know
feel
if it'd
3
be
for
worth
3
it
would
at
not
that
be as bad.
point. 3 for
It's
3
still
doesn't feel
worth
as good.
it. It's still worth it, but it's not insane. Like you're doing, if you play 3 of them, you get all 3 of them off. That's 12 damage versus 9. Like that's just a really heavy swing of single digits versus double digit damage from just playing cards.
I mean, that's over half almost half your base, depending on which base.
It's the card that makes aggro decks possible, I think, because it gives you that extra reach that you need once your opponent has won the board to then go on and actually win the game.
And your opponent can't plan for it. Your opponent can see everything they can on the field, and they can plan for that math. The only thing that they can stop that is by using a probe droid. But there's no other way to deal with that.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some cards that discard cards.
You need yellow.
There's some yellow cards that can stop it.
Couple. Yeah. But it's one of the things like it's such a surprise card that your opponent can't like mathematically prepare for when they're playing the game.
All right, so S tier, everyone, we agree. S tier. Don't say C tier there, Skeff.
I mean, I started with S tier.
All right, moving along to yellow villain. What do we think?
Spicy.
Man,
spicy stuff.
I might be on S here as well. I don't know.
I give it an A. I feel so. I've played enough hero or villain yellow where it's just not fast enough for like versus like the green villain or the red hero. Like it's almost there, but it isn't just always consistently winning. So I feel like I give it an A tier. I mean, Thrawn is probably my favorite thing just to play because I'm like I have all the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But I give it an A tier because I feel like it needs more cards to just keep it consistently going.
So I think arguably Boba Fett is like the most powerful, raw leader. Like just everything in a vacuum. Boba Fett has crazy stats for his cost and lets you play cards, more cards than you're supposed to in a turn, which is crazy. You got Fett's Fire Spray too, which combined with Boba Fett is really good. It get to ready. It comes in and play ready. And you've also got
with a Boba or a Django.
Yeah, right. We will apparently get Django at some point. No Good to Me Dead, amazing. Exhausted unit they can't ready this round, which is
that card's
great.
Dumb.
You also have 7th Fleet Defender, which is a 3-cost 3/2 space unit with shielded, which is it's just value, right? But I think it's not a very deep card pool. I think that they're like those, and then obviously Boba Fett unit too, which is a 3-cost 3/5 with on attack. If this unit is attacking an exhausted unit that didn't enter play this round, deal 3 damage to it. Jabba too. I'm not as high on Jabba as some other people are, but
we don't have enough trick cards yet. Wait till we get the really dumb trick cards.
Yeah, Jabba's
we only have 3 of them right now.
That won't be cooking.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good stuff.
Stonks on Jabba.
Yeah,
not his artwork though.
There's quite a few good cards, but
Skeff, you played Dooku and Jabba, so
right.
Well, you can play both the same
whichever one. Hey, I'm waiting for a Jabba Dooku leader. I'm waiting for one of those guys so then I can just wreck faces with like, what is he building?
Here we go again. They just got rid of the dice, the punishment.
Right, I'll figure out a way to make it work. Yeah, and like the Jabba leader is what I'm waiting for. That's going to be lots of fun.
Okay.
I'm looking at the yellow villains. I don't love Thrawn. I think he's fine. I think Boba Fett is a menace, and he's going to wreck early game. I mean, just the fact that he's a 4/7 that comes out at 6. You look at Jin
5.
and you're like,
at
5. Sorry, 5. And you look at Jin and you're like, oh, what the heck?
Why bother?
But like the only yellow villain card that I'm like, I just never want to play this is the Chimera because it's just it
too
needs
expensive.
ambush or so. It's too expensive. The rest of the cards, I'm like, I don't mind throwing these in there. Bounty Hunter Crew is a little questionable, but I do think it has
Cartel
its place.
Spacer is phenomenal.
Cartel
Spacer is amazing.
Bosk
is one of my favorite cards in the entire game.
I agree.
Fett's Fire Spray dropping, with Boba Fett is it just
just
that ends games. I mean, so yeah, I mean,
and Boba by himself can one shot almost anything.
I like Mining Guild TIE Fighter in that deck because you could swing and draw.
Yeah, for sure.
Card drawing is good.
I think I don't know. I can agree with it as a color being an A, but I think Boba Fett compared with a yellow base maybe like in the top 2 decks in the entire game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's just great aggression.
Mostly, I mean, a lot of the yellow villain cards are very good, but the cunning, like the card cunning, is ridiculous.
That's the best one.
It's
Well, tell
it's
us. Tell us what it does. Why do you say this?
So cunning costs 4. Choose 2 in any order. Return a non-leader unit with 4 or less power to its owner's hand. Give a unit +4/+0 for the entire phase. Exhaust up to 2 units, or an opponent discards a random card from their hand.
All
So
relevant options.
So good.
Like if your opponent has 1 card left that it's been sitting on, cool, go away. Or if your opponent has, I have 3 characters in play. Well, 2 of them are exhausted, 1 of them's gone. Good luck this turn.
Or, you need to get through some damage with your units. You don't want your opponent to trade in them. You exhaust 2 and give something +4 attack so you can end the game.
Take down a
quicker.
Vader that turn or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, it's too good.
It's ridiculous.
And then pair it with Bounty Hunter Crew so you could play it 6 times.
Love it.
I'm on board.
All right. So is it A or S tier?
I gave it an A. That's just my
A+.
Yeah.
No, S tier. S tier. I'm going S. I changed my mind.
Spicy.
I think
it's better than Green Villain, actually.
I see. The reason why I don't think so is because you don't see it paired with pretty much any other leader other than like Boba. Like you're not seeing like a Krennic yellow deck or like a Tarkin yellow deck.
Interesting.
Whereas you do see Krennic with green or Tarkin with green or even Boba with green.
Mike, we have not played it yet, but I did build a Krennic yellow deck specifically, and I have been dying to play it against you recently.
Well,
they've got a lot of health. It compares really well with Krennic, actually. Like they all have incredible health. So
I'm excited to see it.
I built an Inquisitor yellow deck.
Ooh, okay. Yep.
That's fun.
I could see that being good.
It's just pure
Pirated
aggro where everything
Starfighter,
just attacks.
Boba.
So if you took Boba out of the equation as a leader, not a unit, would that make Yellow Villain worse? Because I think
it would make
Yellow
it worse.
Villain is A.
I still think it's A tier.
I
still think it's A tier.
Yeah, I still agree with A, but I do think it's worse.
Yeah.
without Boba
So
leader.
is the crux of this ranking, this tier, based purely around Boba the leader deck?
I don't think so, because I don't think it changes like too drastically. I think you struggle to find a super compelling leader to play with, and Boba's just so good.
Gotcha.
That
Okay.
I don't know. He kind of can carry you just on his own.
It's true. It's true. The expediency of playing cards earlier is very, very, very good. Okay. So we're all sitting on A, and then Dhaus is on S.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of TCG Cast. We appreciate each and every one of our listeners for joining us on this week's episode. If you'd like to help the show out, definitely make sure to follow us on our social media accounts such as Twitter and Facebook at TCG Cast. Also, you can help support the show by picking up your trading card game accessories and singles at our sponsor, alchemistrefuge.shop. This is one of our favorite places to pick up cards for Lorcana, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and soon, Star Wars Unlimited. All the information and more will be in the show notes. So thanks again for joining us, and let's get back into this episode. All right, moving along to Hero Yellow. What do we think?
Probably my favorite color
B.
to play.
B? Wow.
B.
What? Why?
I don't know if that's wrong, actually. Even though I love the color, I think it's super fun, but I think it might be another one that's like kind of shallow. You've got Han, the 7-cost Han, but you really only see it in like 1 or 2 decks. You've got, Ezra, who's great, just like really good value. And probably my favorite card in the game, Millennium Falcon, or in the top 3 for sure. Millennium Falcon's insane.
I agree. Millennium Falcon is a phenomenal card.
Yeah, amazing card. And then Han the leader, which I also love. He's my favorite leader, so I'm definitely biased here.
Leia,
you can't forget Leia. Yeah, you can't forget Leia.
She's a nutso control piece.
Very, very good for 2 resources.
I've had my Vader turned off way too many times by her. It's just like
That's awesome.
It's thematic, but I hate it because I've got the lightsaber
Daddy's
and
little
everything.
girl.
I'm ready to swing, and someone's like, Leia.
I guess I'm gonna read this bedtime story then. Whatever.
Yeah,
it's good.
I feel that the other cards, like the yellow, like there isn't enough impactful yellow hero cards that are just like that's like it's just there isn't enough of them right now.
Yeah, you don't really see a lot of. There, like Sabine Yellow is a thing, but I think it's more about Sabine and Rebels.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Than it is about like Yellow Hero. Like Jin, Mike, you play a lot of Han.
I do, and I love playing Han. Yeah, I do play quite a few yellow cards in that deck because they just like they fit and they fit the like the curve that you want to hit with him. I've also tried playing Jin, and she's all right, but certainly I'm not super excited about her. And yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of decks that I have built that I really enjoy that have yellow in them, other than Han and maybe Luke. I do like Luke yellow.
Like yellow is just a good support color. Like it's a phenomenal support color. Like
yeah,
that's what it is. Like it's just like it's hard for it to be the primary color, but it's a phenomenal support color because you need like the cunnings or whatever, like whatever shenanigans is what you get from yellow.
Yeah, I think the only reason it can be a primary color with Han is because of the way that he can cheat like resources into play.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
and you can get your 3-cost stuff like Ezra and Falcon out on turn 1, and you can get your 7-cost Han out on turn 4. And you're cooking.
I do feel like over time, Han, the leader, will get better and better as like better cards are released.
I can't wait to mess around with him.
It definitely has like definitely has a high ceiling, but I would probably give it, at least for now, I'd probably be in the B range too.
I think yellow is one of the best cards in the game, and that's Outmaneuver. It's a 3-drop that you just choose an arena and tap everything out.
Best in that
game?
That
can definitely catch people off guard.
One of the best. If you time that right, that can win you a game.
It's a good,
I have not seen that happen
stall mechanic.
So far.
It's a very good stall mechanic if you're trying to build a late game deck. Like it's really good in a Thrawn deck where you're just waiting to build. You're like, oh, you have 4 characters. They are all exhausted.
Also, if you ever see like in Magic terms, like a white weenie deck where someone just dumps a bunch of little 1 and 2 drops into probably going to be in the ground arena, you can just lock them all out for 3 resources, which is really, 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 really powerful. In the current card pool, I don't think it's going to be super prominent, but cards like that where you could just pick an arena on demand and go, everything is offline. Now that includes your stuff, but still, you're losing a battle in one of the arenas, and so you just turn your opponent's like offensive power off for 3, and then you can start to kind of fill the board with your stuff. You can bring ambush. You can do a lot of stuff, but for such a low cost and a big opportunity, I think it's a very, very strong card.
Yeah, it's one to keep an eye on for sure as we get more probably space units, or whatever's popular in the metagame. You can't, like there is that opportunity to play sort of the counter deck where you're playing really heavy in the arena that people are not playing as much in, and you can take advantage of it that way.
But I never thought we would see that in set 1. Usually cards like that come out in later sets, so I would assume there are more cards that we don't know about that lead to a scenario where you need something to turn off just a go wide deck. Because we haven't seen a board wipe yet either, like no Wrath of God.
Well, I mean, that Overwhelming Barrage.
Well, Overwhelming Barrage is asking for a couple of things to work, as opposed to just a straight Wrath of God, like an outmaneuver that says choose an arena, defeat all units in that arena. Or maybe it just defeats everything. I don't know. Who knows? Like, don't get me wrong. Overwhelming Barrage is very, very good, but it's not like when I think of a Wrath of God, I'm thinking like a true Wrath of God, like no stipulations, just pay a cost, blow everything up, keep moving. So I'm curious if or we should see it, when we'll see it, and how much that'll cost. But okay, moving along, let's talk about villains, just villains. So we're going to be looking at things like TIE Fighter, General Beers, TIE Advance, ATSD, stuff like that. What do we think? I think they're pretty good, but I'd love to hear what y'all are cooking on.
I think it's pretty good. It's interesting compared to Hero because there are some very direct comparisons. Thinking mostly like Veers versus Dodonna, TIE Advanced versus Wing Leader, or Snowtrooper Lieutenant versus Fleet Lieutenant.
A lot of them have this. It keeps it kind of balanced, right? Where like you have access to this card, I also have access to this card.
Exactly, but they're like slightly different with different stats essentially.
Yes, like one comes like also whatever the ship, the TIE Advance where it gets experience points cost 1 more than the Rebels.
Right, and has 1 more attack, 1 more defense, or one more health. Yeah, so it's interesting to like consider which one is better and which one fits in the various decks, I guess.
I feel like villains in this specific vacuum are leaning much closer towards control when you think about the cards that are unique, that aren't like mirrors. So if you look at like Viper Probe Droid, You get to look at your opponent's hand. That's very important for control players.
Sure.
You got access to I'm Your Father, which, although it's a fun, very thematic card, you still have an opportunity to A, deal 7 damage, or B, draw 3 cards, which is great for control decks.
Control deck wants to do.
Yeah. And then you have maximum firepower. You just deal direct damage to remove a threat.
Sure. Cell block guard as well with Sentinel.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Lots of control tools for, people like me who just want to make you hate yourself. Stop playing the game. Just quit. Just surrender. Put your hand on the deck. Sign the slip. Tell the TO, I'm done. I'm good.
I think in general, I like in a vacuum, I think I like the villain stuff better than the hero stuff. It feels like the stuff I want to play is just remotely cheaper. I think having the TIE Fighter at 1, the Snow Trooper at 2, Veers at 3. If we stopped there, I like that better than X-Wing, Fleet Lieutenant, Dodonna.
R2D2 or C-3PO or whatever they 1-2 drop out, right?
Yeah.
I love R2 and 3PO. Those are
it's thematic and it's
good.
It's cool.
I like them a lot. I think I like Fleet Lieutenant and Wing Leader probably better than the villain alternatives. But I like Veers better than Dodonna.
True. I agree about Veers.
Well, that extra turn to get him in means you get to swing with him by the time Dodonna comes
Big
online.
difference.
Yeah. One turn makes a huge difference.
I guess
Absolutely.
I've enjoyed playing more villain decks than I have hero decks. So I'm just going to lean toward the villain because I don't know. There's certain villain cards I'm just like, oh, this is just such a good card. I don't know. I'm just going to lean toward the villain, I guess.
I think also because I play so much Tarkin, having all this Imperial synergy in that deck is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All these cards are Imperial cards.
the Rebel synergy's pretty sweet as well. So
Also true. I just have more fun playing Imperial synergy, I think, than Rebel synergy. Rebel synergy feels a little...
Here's what it is. I think that with Rebel synergy, there are more unique characters than Imperial synergy.
Ooh, very
Imperial
true.
is more faceless units, while the hero are more unique units.
That's a great observation.
Yeah.
Almost like Star Wars as an IP.
Right. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that's what they did, right?
Wow. It's like they thought about this.
You know what I mean? That's where I feel that, when you have that mid-range game, the hero cards, they're investing more in these unique units because they can't play multiple of them. You can't have multiple everything. You play it, but then one of them has to go away. But it's just such a faceless army with the Imperials versus all right, I need to get out this name character. I need to get out this name character. With the Rebels, where I feel like it's almost more work because then you have another one in your hand. You're like, well, I can't do anything with the second one. Just kind of becomes a resource, I guess, or I wait till the other one dies. So I feel like you're just
crash,
less
play
fluid.
A new one.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we want to rate villain? Just villainy straight up. I think it's an A, solid number.
It's hard to give it a letter almost. I feel like it's hard to because it's just you can't build a straight villain deck, right?
Yeah,
We're looking at this inside of a vacuum because these villain cards can go into any villain deck, so you can put them in villain blue, red, yellow.
It's really interesting because I don't think that they're that far apart from each other, which
correct.
I don't think has been true in an FFG Star Wars game for a long time. Maybe never.
Yeah. Usually one side's got kind of a major advantage one way or the other. And
usually it's villain.
Yes. Yeah. Usually it is villain.
We don't remember the Fat Hondas? No one remember the Fat Hondas.
Oh, come on. Unless you're playing X-Wing. Heroes had a huge advantage.
Yeah. Yeah. Poe Maz.
Yeah.
Poe Maz.
Yeah, the thing that ruined Destiny.
Usually.
Or did you guys play X-Wing? Do you remember Dash 52?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dash Randolph. Yeah.
Yes.
That Dash.
That was a thing. But I think it's a good conversation piece. It is hard to rate them, and we don't have to. I think R2D2 and C-3PO is probably the most uniquely thematic and powerful combo in the game. They're
powerful. I don't know.
So if you're trying to filter through your deck,
it's most unique.
They're really good. Also, 1/4 is hard to crack early game unless someone throws everything they have into an R2D2 or a C-3PO, depending on what you have. But
I did win one of my games the other day with C-3PO almost because I put experience tokens on him and shields. Yeah. That was hilarious.
I do really like I think that they are good. I enjoy playing with them a lot. It's kind of hard to, I don't know, it's getting to the point where it's hard to slot them into a deck over other cards, I think.
Yeah, that's my problem too.
Like
But
in the Sabine,
I do like them a
Sabine
lot.
deck, you don't play them in the Sabine hero deck.
Sure, yeah, they're not really.
Well, they're
Yeah,
not
they
aggro,
just
doing
right.
what you need to do.
Right, but like it's one of the things like they're just yeah.
But all I
you know,
play is
a
control,
play
so
style.
they're perfect for control.
But hero leans a
Yeah.
little bit more towards aggro than control, I think.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But I still want to find just stupid control decks.
Oh, of course.
So being able to turn one,
if
drop
that's
a
what
little
you want to
body.
do, and that's your, that's your goal, then I'm with you.
I agree. They're absolutely terrible in aggro decks, but I don't play aggro decks particularly.
I'll put you this way. I think when we see people playing the game, I feel that you're going to see more unique villain units than you will rebel decks. Like more unique villain decks where people are playing, like they'll be like, oh, there's like a bunch of different villain decks, and then but in the hero decks there'll be only a select handful of certain hero leader that'll be played.
I can see that. I can see that. My big jam that makes me really high on R2 and 3PO is I feel like as more sets come out, they just have such more versatility. In set one, like if you've ever played in any kind of trading card game, the early metagame tends to favor aggro decks because that's just how it is. So R2D2 and C3PO at the current point in the game meta with the limited amount of cards we have and the limited amount of decks we have available in permutations, I don't think they're like particularly very good. But I'm thinking about like when set 2 and set 3 are out, I feel like R2 and 3PO are going to be like very, very, very powerful. Obviously, if you're playing a control or a mid-range deck, not in aggro, never in aggro. They just don't do anything in aggro. But if you're looking for like card manipulation, you're trying to dig, you're trying to hit certain thresholds, they just kind of help unlock decks and set up big plays. Also, a 1/4 for one, I think is a very good early game body.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're a little slow. I mean, it does filter and it gets you more cards, but I think you're giving up a lot on the board as you go. So I don't know.
That's fair. That's totally fair. I like playing them with Han because you can get them both out on turn one.
Yeah. Getting them both out with Han is cool, and getting them out in Luke with shields is also pretty
Luke,
cool.
I was going to say, Luke is the one deck where I still play
Luke with shields feels so good because it's like play R2D2, give him a shield. Play 3PO,
but then they only attack for one. So if you're not buffing them, a lot of times they're like, okay, big deal. You've got a shielded R2.
So most people I've played with just kind of ignore them because they're not offensive damage. And I'm not using them for offensive damage. I'm using them as a utility piece to get into my bigger spells, bigger removal tools, bigger whatever. And then usually by the time they realize what I'm doing, I've already gotten like, 2 or 3 additional cards and there's a shield. So they've got to spend so many resources and so many attacks to try and get rid of them that I'm over in, Space Arena throwing out X-Wings, or I'm playing something else, maybe a Fleet Lieutenant or something else. And it's kind of gone its course. So I like having distraction pieces. I know that's not a popular theory or philosophy for trading card game players, but having a card that gives me a bonus and forces you to deal with it, I think is good, personally.
I don't think it does force your opponent to do anything with it. That's my issue is, like, unless you throw Entrenched on it. Like, I love playing Entrenched on R2D2 or C3PO because then it's like, okay, at least they can actually take care of a unit or something. But when they're just one power, it's like, I don't care. Like, yeah, you're drawing more cards, but I've done 17 damage to your base and you've done 4. And I'd be shocked if these ended up in anything but a casual deck. Like, just competitively speaking, I think they're fun thematically. Every time I teach this game, people love the way they work together. I think that's a huge theme win, but competitively, I just don't think they pack enough punch.
Dropping bars.
No, that's totally fair. But I think that's the interesting thing about Star Wars Unlimited is it does have space for both of those kind of people. So, people want to play
there are unlimited possibilities. You might say.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely want a hyperspace foil C3PO like immediately.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Want that immediately in my life.
We need some droid synergy so IG-88 can work somehow.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
Oh, I'm sure there's droid synergy coming. But that's kind of the fun of it.
8, 9, 10, 11, all those guys.
I'll work on finding a way to get the droids to be competitive. I think there's hope for them. Maybe not now.
It's entrenched.
Maybe not now, but
It's entrenched. That's
how many more
Entrenched
cards do we
Andor,
have to be revealed? There's still
I
quite
think
a
it's
bit,
like
aren't there?
60 or 70 cards.
No, we're less
Yeah,
than
we're
that
Less than
now.
that? Okay.
It's like 50.
Nope, less than that. We are at
Somebody has the exact number.
219
out of 252.
cards out of 252.
Oh, wow. That's
Got
awesome.
like 30
Okay, so
cards
30
left.
Plus, we don't know what
33.
the other 5 showcases look like. And I'm also calling it. I think there's going to be a couple of secret cards. I just think there's going to be a couple of secret cards. Because, it's like the Leia says 250, which that math doesn't add up.
Wait, the showcase Leia says 250?
Yeah, that's their card
Mhm.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So,
have
my
separate
brain
card
goes,
numbers?
they'll be what?
There's separate card numbers?
Yes. So they're outside the set. So, they're like the secret, like for card games, they're secret rares or like the special illustration rares that usually have a set number outside of the set number.
Have you ever seen
It says
Pokemon?
260.
260.
Yeah,
Thank you.
260.
Yeah,
260.
so it says 260 out of 252 is what our
Yeah,
set
so
is.
there's
that's
at least
8
8.
cards. So
I think
my thought is like there's 6 showcases and there'll be like 2 other weird special rares. Unless they give us 8 showcases, which would be really weird.
No, all the leaders will be
I thought
showcased.
each leader gets a showcase.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think they all get showcases.
I'm like 99%
I think they
sure
all
that
do.
that's true.
Except for Luke and Vader.
Maybe they get showcases. I don't know.
We should
you think
map it out actually because
So there'll be 8 showcase cards. There'll be 8 showcase leaders. So 2 per color.
no.
Why are you capping it out at 8?
No,
I think
there's more.
every leader has a showcase
yeah, there's
card.
gonna be 16.
No, I feel that would be a misplay on their part. I feel that'd be
No way.
too many chase cards in the set, and I think that would be frustrating.
But you only need one of them.
No, you only
don't
need
need
each.
3 or 4.
This is coming from someone like a collecting / like purchasing product side. Like if you did 16 alt arts of just showcase leaders, I feel that's just too many to make them unique.
But like if you're running a deck and you love IG88 for some weird reason and you don't have a showcase option.
Yeah, it doesn't mean there won't be a promo or an alternate version of that card coming down the pipeline. I'm going to call it now. I think it caps at that 260, and we're going to get 8 showcases, 2 of each color.
I'll bet you your first showcase card.
Wow.
I will bet you a pack of cards, crazy man.
Wait, specify the pack of cards. He's got some baseball cards with bubble gum. Be careful.
I have some garbage. So I'm very confident they're not going to make a showcase card of every leader in the set. I'm like 99% confident about that.
Okay.
Just from a man who has
That's a hot take.
Just coming from a man who's played and collected card games for the past like 12 years, it would be shocking for them to do that.
I mean, I kind of hope they do because I'm going to be triggered if I can't complete the entire collection and there's like missing showcases for some reason.
Yeah, I'd be the same way.
You want all 16
but I'm not a
showcases?
They don't so
Yeah.
like
if
they don't do
I
stuff
can
like
play showcase Chewbacca, but I can't play showcase Luke, like.
How much do you think
why?
those showcases are going to go for, though?
minimum starting out price point like $250 and up, depending on which character you get.
You're saying starting though, right? Like
That seems pretty low. I feel like 300 is
once
probably
boxes
like the
are
bottom.
open,
Because there's going to be
Sullivan
some that people don't
probably-
care about, right? Like if
Yeah.
they do IGA showcase. All right, I don't really want to buy it, but I kind of
Yeah, that's like an $80 card.
But
Ouch.
here's the thing, though, like just like for Pokemon, for Magic, like they don't always make super crazy alt arts of the best cards in the game. Like they
It's
do
true.
a few of them to appease people. Like if you're talking a card that is 1 every 2 cases, i.e., 1 every 288 packs, and then you said how many of these? There's 16 of these cards. So then you have to buy, I don't know, like
A lot.
2,000 packs to try to get all of them.
That's
like
a
it's
lot.
it's just one of the things where like it would just be almost impossible.
Well, it's
to
like
get
Enchanted
all of them.
from Lorcana. Like, there's definitely a wide
But there's
berth
12 of those, right?
There are, but they're not all from the same rarity scale. So they're
Right.
across the
So-
board.
So I'm willing. Like I said, I'm 10 toes down on this. That they're not going to do in the set 1.
10 toes down.
Ooh,
Yeah.
What?
I can't wait to see what they actually do.
Man.
10 toes down. Where I'm like, there's no way they make a showcase of every single leader in. Like, how many leaders in the set? 16 of them? 18 of them?
Yeah.
18
16
or
if you
16.
don't count Luke and Vader.
And I'm going to count Luke and Vader
There's 18.
because listen, if I know FFG like I know FFG, you bet your sweet bottom. There at one point there'll be a showcase Luke and Vader.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like they'd be foolish
Well,
not to make a
those
showcase
would
Luke and
probably be
Vader,
like
right?
If
con
they-
exclusive.
yeah, if the pattern continues, there'll be some kind of OP promo
Right.
item.
So that's the thing, right? They'll be there eventually. But like,
What
I
are
just-
the convention level events? So those are for the hyperspace region. Are those regionals?
Yeah, I guess you'd call them like technically it's like city, state, regionals, and then worlds is kind of like how I look at it.
Well, remember Destiny, if you went to a convention, they had the spot gloss character cards.
You'd earn points to try to achieve those, yes.
Yeah, so I could see them having like convention exclusive showcase, insert name of card here.
But I'll put it this way, man, as a man who's bought cards, collected cards, sold cards, I would be absolutely shocked if they did every single leader, 16 showcase cards in the set one. Like, I would be shocked. Like, you consider me shocked, gentlemen.
Do you think they'll do a showcase base?
No, that'd be a waste of time.
That's not. I think that's hyperspace. Yeah,
I'm just messing.
I would also be shocked. Like,
spot gloss bases at conventions only. There you go.
I mean, hey, I'll take that on the prize wall.
I would be okay with that. But no, I'm very confident that I'm gonna go back. There's no way they do a showcase of every single leader in the set. There's just no way.
We'll find out. We only have.
I can't wait to find out.
What do we have? 8 weeks? Not maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Because my brain goes like, if they do, that's like, I don't know, this is like 5,000 packs you have to open to try to get all of them, or more. I think on the quick math, you know what I mean?
It's a lot.
It's a lot of packs.
It's a lot of packs.
So that's the thing, right? We're just like I just from a collecting standpoint, from like people purchasing the like chase cards, like to do all 16 of them would make them feel less special, in my opinion.
What if it was a combination of 16 or 18 in total? Some of them come from booster packs. Some of them come from playing at events like Worlds, Nationals.
Like eventually there'll be 18 of. Like I think eventually you'll get a showcase of every card from set one. I just don't think there'll be showcases in the actual product of the set coming out.
I'm more on the boat of I want to see what happens.
I'd push back a little bit just because I feel like I don't know. I would still be excited to open packs if there are 16. I feel like it just means that.
Don't get me wrong. I would be excited, but I don't think it's going to happen from like a money standpoint.
Sure. Maybe. I don't know. There's just like there's more total chase cards. It's like I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I think it's just more unique, cool, special cards.
Man, we're going to find out in a month and a half, and I will absolutely
That is right.
Back.
Yep, we will. y'all exchange phone numbers and mailing addresses. I want to see who wins this bet. All right, last question before we get out of here. This has been a blast. I just want to say a big thank you to Mike and Dhaus. It's always a pleasure to have you on, but it's been way too long. We got to have you come on much more frequently. Which of the leaders? So we're gonna go into an alternate universe where all of the leaders have a showcase card. Which one do you think will pull the most expensive price point? And what do you think that number would be? Now, this is obviously for fun, pure speculation. We have no idea. But if you had to pick one, that would be the chase, the ultimate in set one. Which one do you think it would be? I'm going to go with Vader, I think. A classic.
Assuming they have the starter deck ones.
Should we not count the starter deck characters?
We could not. That's fine.
I've got a pretty strong feeling it would be the man himself, Boba Fett.
Okay, how much?
Because Boba Fett is both a beloved Star Wars character and absolutely busted,
probably the most powerful leader in the game. Yeah,
and gonna be wrecking meta. How much? Oh gosh, I'm so bad at this. Usually I text.
I'm good at this.
This is where I text Skeff. Yeah, this is where I say Skeff. What do I sell this for?
I got you. And I will absolutely literally walk you through this process, holding your hand, showing you the field of money you'll be getting for that card.
Yeah,
he does. That's literally
Is it day one price or is it like 6 months in?
That's a good point. That's also.
I can give you both answers. Go both answers.
I Skeff, I want to match wits with you. So I think I know what you're going to go for here. So
okay,
opening. Let's not day one. Opening weekend. Or wait, okay, hold on. Pre-release or like release?
Oof.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do.
Those
I'm
numbers
walk you through my shoes. If it was me going through this process. If I pre-release weekend a week before the game comes out, pull a Boba Fett. That's a showcase. I will scream like a girl and then list it on eBay for $9.99.
Yeah, I was gonna say $1,000. Yep, right there. Okay,
and just see what happens.
But if it's raw, now would you grade said Boba Fett?
If I pull it pre-release weekend, it is going right to eBay.
Okay, right
for $9.99.
Okay, $9.99.
Now,
Yeah, I
if
was
I
gonna,
pull it
I was
4
gonna
or 5
say
months later, then I'll grade it.
$900,000. Yeah, yeah. I'm tracking there with you. Now, let's talk about release weekend, the next week where everybody is opening packs.
I have a feeling these are going to be harder to pull than people think.
Oh no, I agree.
It's 1 in 12 boxes.
Yeah, that's
1 in 2
insane.
cases. Yeah,
Yeah, and
Well,
if
if there's 16 of them, then it's gonna be really hard to pull the.
Yeah,
I don't think there's going to be 16 of them, which is going to be impossible.
But
You're just
but-
wrong,
but-
Skeff. Accept
But we're in
it.
this
I
universe
can't
where
wait for
you
that when they
can,
come
you
out.
can't. Okay. So release weekend. Everyone's cracking packs. Everyone's playing games. It's out in the wild. You pull a Boba Fett, scream like a girl. What do you price it as on the internet?
If one sold for 1,000, then the common market is what happens when new cards get released. The secondary markets get the first initial cards always go for the highest, and then there's a trajectory of a quick little spike, and then as more get listed, there's an immediate downturn, i.e., race to the bottom.
Race to the bottom
for new card releases.
Yeah.
Where if Boba becomes a viable card, but here's the trick, right? You only need one of them. So you only need one to play in your deck.
Yeah.
But does it become a card that people love and chase after? Does the game have popularity? It just comes down to a lot of factors. But could you see the card settle somewhere between $300 to $400? Yeah, probably.
I feel like he'd probably settle around the 400 range. 300 feels a little bit low.
They're a lot harder to pull than any of those enchanted cards. And those things are still holding at $100 to $200 per enchanted card.
Well, I mean, the Elsas are still kind of floating in that $300 range. It depends on the popularity.
The Elsa's the one. The Elsa's the one that's above and beyond everyone else.
Cindy's floating in that 250, 280. She could probably spike out at 300. But I mean, you're talking about
so they're easier to get.
Well, but you're also talking about Disney princesses versus Boba Fett, which is a meta-defining character. And if you think about
princesses or the Boba Fett,
the Boba Fett. So the princesses are popular because they're princesses. The Elsa is not a meta-defining card. She's in meta.
It is a different
Again,
audience,
the difference is, it's different audience, and you want 4 Elsas, you want 4 Cinderellas, you only need 1 Boba Fett.
So his price should be pretty much higher than one of an enchanted rare. Because it's harder.
I don't know about
possibly.
B,
I don't know. I think the enchanted rares are probably not going to players, though. They're going to Disney collectors.
Yeah, I agree. But Boba Fett
who may not want 4. So yeah.
But I'm assuming if I know you guys and Boba Fett was at the right price, you would grab him instantly for your deck at a showcase rarity.
I'll put it this way, gentlemen. If I see people listing showcase cards at $200 or less, I will buy all of them.
Yeah, right.
Honestly. Just because of the cost
it's cheaper than the
investment.
cost to buy.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is that's what factors into it.
$200 is 2 boxes.
288 packs times $5. How much dollars is that?
Yeah. More than 200.
You know what I mean? It's $1,200.
Well, we haven't even talked about grading them yet. It's just raw.
No.
Straight.
But yeah, so that's the thing. It's if it costs $1,200 to open up 12 boxes.
Yeah. $1,200 minus whatever the EV of a pack generally is.
See? Yeah. Exactly. What's the value of the pack? And so if I see people listing showcases, regardless of IG88 at $200, I'm like, I will take those all day because I know how much it costs to get one of these.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You'd be foolish. And then there's the thing, right? There you're like, all right, at what price point would you not be just picking it up immediately? Is it $250? Is it $300? Due to cost to get one.
$350 is probably your safe cap for return on investment. Because once you start getting the 400s, now it's are you making enough? Well, first of all, can you sell it for more than that and make a return? And is it worth arguing over, $50, give or take? That is for another discussion.
Yeah.
But I still want to hear what your guys' favorite showcase would be, what you think is the banger. So Dhaus says Boba Fett. Mike, what are you thinking?
I'm tempted to agree. As much as I hate to agree with David, I think
I'm actually surprised you didn't say Han. I think Han would do very well.
I'm gonna go.
I think Han will do very well too, but I think Boba, maybe Sabine is my second.
Sabine, I was gonna go with Palpatine.
Well,
if there's a Palpatine.
if he is the last leader, which it seems like he is, he's definitely at the top.
Yeah,
just based on the character alone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It almost doesn't matter what he does. He's literally the
it doesn't. And also, I think the card's going to look dope. I think it's going to be just a really cool, him just in all of his glory, just sitting there. Or maybe the lightning bolts. I don't know.
Well, because we have one green leader, one blue leader left to be revealed.
I think it's just one green leader. We've got all the blue ones.
Because there's 2 blue heroes and 2 blue villains. Because you don't include blue because you have a starter card.
Right.
So you get 2 of every color.
Sure, I forgot about Chirrut. Yeah. I completely forgot.
Per.
Yeah.
There's 2 per. So you got one more green.
It's easy to forget about Chirrut.
There's
It is, man. Poor Donnie Yen.
I let my man down. What have I done?
Poor Donnie Yen.
I'm just kidding. I love the character.
I didn't see him. It's on me. I didn't see him. That was my bad.
That's right. He can't see either. He can't see either. So it's okay.
Done. So yeah, one green villain leader. Yeah, probably Palpatine.
Which would be Palpatine. Yeah, and then that'll be all of them. And then we'll enjoy our 8 showcase cards.
Okay, I personally would love Thrawn. That would be my favorite. I know it's not the most insane, but like his current artwork is really cool, and I feel like Thrawn as a showcase leader would probably pull a pretty penny. Just for cool factor. Also, I think he's a very, very strong leader.
I feel if they do the Inquisitor art really nice, I feel an Inquisitor showcase would just look cool. I feel like, I don't know, I'm a Clone Wars
I can see that. I'll be straight up honest. If they do a Harrison Dula with like the artwork where it's like the entire Rebels cast,
yeah, that's a win. They have to do that.
That would be probably a big money maker.
Not to do that.
So remember that stone that they're all on at the end of Rebels, kind of like documenting the show. If they did a full art showcase of that, I would probably be okay with that being the money maker of the set.
I would be okay. Like just as a fan of that, I would say that would be my favorite.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That'd be sweet.
Just wait for my Ahsoka card.
Give me she might be in set 2. Maybe. We'll see. She coming. You know there's an Ahsoka leader. It's got to happen.
But the more important question, will there be a Grogu leader? That's what I know. Is there going to be a Grogu little adorable leader? He eats frogs. It's so cute.
Probably Mando plus Grogu. I could see Grogu as a unit. Like a 1 cost or a 2 cost. But, speculation aside, it's been a great episode. We're way over 45 minutes. We can never, ever...
a nice tight 45.
Never, ever keep... it's not going to happen. But before we get on out of here, please, Mike and Dhaus, plug your show. Again, tell us where can we find you, and maybe give us a little insight on what's coming up in the next week or 2. We can look forward to on your content creation channels. Wow,
Mike.
Oh God. Well, I mean, first, thanks for having us on, man. We had a lot of fun talking with you guys, and hopefully we'll be chatting soon. And yeah, you can find us on YouTube. Just search Unplayable. Hopefully we come up. I haven't actually tested that, so tell me if that doesn't work. And I've been out of town, so we don't have quite as much stuff on the docket as normal. But we'll probably do a podcast episode this coming week, and we got some more card review videos coming. And as we get closer to the game, we'll have more, strategy, gameplay, deck tech kind of stuff that I feel like a lot of people are going to do that kind of thing, but we'll put our own spin on it, make it fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. You guys are always welcome. Shoot us a message if you want to come chat and argue about Skeff and money and why Dhaus is always right and Mike shouldn't agree with you and yada yada. But thank you so much for joining us. We will see everyone on the next episode, and as always, remember, may the Force be with you. Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of TCG Cast. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media at TCG Cast on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And if you're looking to pick up a brand new set of trading card game singles or accessories, go check out our sponsor, alchemistrefuge.shop. This is where we pick up all of our supplies, and we highly recommend you should too. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode. We'll see everybody next time. And remember, play games and have fun.